All right, so you guys asked, and now we're gonna answer, how do you sprint in order to maximize your speed and win your next race? Let's get into it. So I've seen a lot of footage you guys have submitted, and to be honest, I've been in this sport for a really long time. So I just want to set the record straight on what a good sprint is. And in its most basic form, it is the fastest you can possibly get on your bike. I think there's this big misconception. It's just the most powerful, highest wattage you can achieve. And I think a lot of people, on Strava want to advertise that fact, but the most powerful sprint oftentimes isn't the fastest sprint, which is kind of counterintuitive because power is just one part of the equation. You also have to be really aerodynamic and get low on your bike out of the wind, even if it's at the cost of some of your power. Because again, it's all about maximum speed. That's how you win races. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna look at both elements. First, I wanna look at what does it take in order to maximize your power on the bike. And then I wanna look at what it takes in order to maximize your aerodynamics on the bike. And then hopefully at the end of it, we'll be able to put those two items together. You can optimize your technique, win your next race. Okay, so let's talk about maximizing power on the bike first. And in order to do that, guys, we don't sprint from the hoods. Never sprint from the hoods. Come down to the drops. A couple of reasons. Number one, you're gonna get so much more torque and power in this position. This is the powerful position right here. And number two, you're gonna prevent yourself from getting hooked by another rider from the bars. Okay, so we're sprinting from the drops. We lift our butt out of the saddle. We shift our weight very slightly forward over the handlebars. Now, a lot of people shift their weight too far forward. You'll know if you've done that because your rear wheel will start skipping around as you're trying to sprint. You're still balanced on the bike. Now let's talk about power generation because it's at the end of the race, right? Your legs are tired. You want to rely on your biceps, your shoulders, your chest. How do we do that? As you're pushing down with your right leg, you are simultaneously pulling up with your right arm. And this is going to cause the bike to gently wag back and forth underneath you. And if you do it right, your torso, your midsection, your upper body is all going to remain perfectly stationary over the bike in balance. Okay, so we've maximized our power, but that's not where the story ends. Like I said earlier, just as important is getting aero. And this one's pretty simple. Instead of just focusing on this push-pull, we are now going to lower our front end. And in order to do that, we're going to bend our arms about 90 degrees here at the elbow. And we might even turtle our head a little bit. And the whole idea is we are trying to make this line with our head, our shoulders, and our hips, which is completely parallel with the ground. And what this does, if you look at a head-on shot, is we are minimizing our frontal area, and that means aero. Now, don't get discouraged if you adopt this position and you see a drop in your maximum power, because it's kind of an awkward position. It requires maybe a little bit of flexibility that you're not used to, but practice it, starting with a lower cadence, and when you put those two things together, this is what it should look like. Okay, so like I said, don't get discouraged.